And hello, Ranger Nation. This is Josh Masonheimer sitting alongside Todd Jones for our second season, Episode 1, live from Rooster's backyard.
Josh, it's almost Friday night.
I know it's been almost a year, right? We're excited about football. We've got some other stuff to cover tonight as well. Exciting evening to start off the 24 season.
Yeah, we can't be more excited to get started and get this live thing kicked off again. Put a little bit of pressure on us and get us ready for Friday night, but I'm excited about season 2.
That's it.
So we did have a couple of things we wanted to mention before we get started. We had some athletic things going on this weekend. The girls cross country finished second, got a second place team finish in their cross country meet this weekend, and that's competing against Midland High, Odessa High, big schools. And our Greenwood girls got a silver second place finish in that team competition. And then our girls volleyball team, Josh, went up to Graham to play in the Lou Allen tournament, and had kind of a rough day there in pool play, but got seated in the silver bracket and ended up coming away with 4 wins. All their games except for one went 3 games, a lot of stress, and the girls really showed a lot of toughness and grit in pulling through, and they basically played 9 sets straight. Started playing like at 11 o'clock and didn't finish up until like 3:30. No break for meals, nothing. It was just one set after another. And so it was fun to watch. So we share that with you guys, so that way you are up to date with all the success that the athletic program has had here in the last few days.
That's right. Cross country had some good success over the weekend as well. Learned about that at the Meet the Rangers program last night. Had a great turnout. Able to raise quite a bit of money for the athletic program.
That's always fun to be a part of.
It was good.
And see everybody come out and pony up a little bit of money for our athletic program. And speaking of that, Josh, today we're going to start off with some of our cheerleaders and our cheer coach, Coach Burchett, Kinsley Savage, and Avery Savage. They're the co-captains. Are going to sit down with us. We're also going to talk to the starting backfield for the Ranger football team, Lincoln Madrid and Nathaniel Romero. And then to wrap things up, we have the head football coach, Brian Hill, is going to step in and talk about the scrimmage, talk about Childress, and what we should expect for this season.
That's right. So got an action-packed evening for you here on Greenwood Streaming Network.
So crank up the AC and grab a drink because it's Ranger Rundown time. All right, sitting with us to kick things off tonight, we have cheer coach Carrie Burchett, along with cheer captains Kinsley Savage and Avery Savage. No relation, right?
Nope,
Just same last name, but not twins or anything like that, right?
Nope.
All right.
Nothing.
Coach, did I get that last name right?
Yeah, you did.
Because it's different than last time.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yep. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for coming in and sitting down with us. Coach, we're going to kind of start with you, and you can show the girls how it should be done. All right. So tell us about this year's squad, and then like how summer camps and activities have gone so far.
Okay, so this year we have. Is that good? Okay. This year we have 18 girls on varsity, which I think is the biggest varsity squad we've ever had. And then we added our freshman team, and then we have a JV team. We went to NCA camp in the DFW area, and our varsity team won top team in 2 out of 3 categories for the varsity division. So they won top team band chant and top team cheer. And then our freshman and JV team competed together, and they won top team band chant. We had like 27 All-American nominees, all 18 girls on varsity, and then we had 4 girls receive All-American. Ella Murray, Claire Hunt, Kimberly Lambert, Kaylee Harris. They all received it last year, and then we also had a freshman on JV receive it, Bliss Curry. So we had a great camp.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was exciting.
What are your expectations for the team? Because you still have some more competitions coming up, don't you?
So we do. We have our UIL state competition in January, and then we're also looking at going to the NCAA national competition. So just kind of getting used to having all 3 teams. We have a much larger group than we've had in the past. So just kind of getting through football season, enjoying pep rallies, and then getting ready for competition season in January.
All right. So what's the biggest thing that you have to get prepared for? Is it pep rallies, or is it a Friday night football game? What is?
I don't know. I feel like we're always just trying to juggle all of it. So like right now we already know our competition routine of what we're doing in January, but we're also already working on pep rally stuff, and it's just kind of mixing it all together. We're always busy, so
Okay.
it never stops.
What are you most excited about and why?
I think I'm just excited for just kind of the direction we're going in. So the sideline cheer, I feel like these girls are so good at incorporating different parts when they're on the sidelines and just really engaging with the crowd. I feel like just in the last couple of years that has changed a lot of what that looks like when we're at games, basketball games, football games, and that really helps us at the state competition. So
Okay. Well,
it's
and you mentioned, that's a great lead into my next question, which was, you guys have a long season. I mean, you're cheering for every sport that's out there.
We do.
And you start early in the summer.
Yes, sir.
How, as a coach, how do you keep the girls excited and engaged during the season?
So I think that any girl that tries out for cheer and is a part of our program, they truly love it. But I think there's just so many different seasons that we go through in phases that there's different things that they love about each, that there's always that excitement of looking forward to what's coming. So they love camp. They really enjoy getting to know the new team there, and then they're eager for football and pep rally season, and then kind of as that ends and they're sad, we're moving into our competition season, which they're so excited about, and then we wrap up our year cheering for basketball, which is always just fun and a great way to end the year. So I think that they're just always looking forward to what's next, so the excitement's there.
Okay. All right, so I got some rapid fire questions for you. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. Pizza or Chinese?
Pizza.
All right. And finish the sentence. I am afraid of
The dark.
the dark.
Yes.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good to know. That's a good answer. Coach, appreciate you coming in and
Thank
sitting
you.
down and sharing stuff with us, and really everything you do for the,
Yeah.
the cheer team and
We
and
enjoy
everything
it.
else at the school. So that's great.
Thank you.
All right, Kinsley, Avery, you guys ready for your turn?
Yes.
You're not too nervous?
I'm fine.
You're in front of like 600 people on Friday nights.
Oh, yeah.
So this should be
do it.
nothing.
That
This
is
should
a
be.
lot.
This should be.
It's
This
different.
is.
We don't have to talk.
This is only
out
like
loud.
70 people, right?
Yeah.
All right. We know you do talk.
Well, together.
Okay.
Not alone.
So guys, you guys have been in the cheer program since little kids. I'm sure you started like 3rd grade with GMFL and all that kind of stuff. What are you most excited about this year?
This year, I'm excited to see like the different bonds that we build. Like cheer just brings different personalities out of everybody, and like the way that all of us get along differently in cheer is like a good thing, and I like to see that.
Okay.
This year, I think it's going to be interesting.
I would have to say like the cheer, like football games and like cheering at pep rallies and all that, like it's just fun and gets you like excited and everything, really.
So I know Friday night is really special for the guys. I know it is for me. It just feels different. Is it? You guys get the same thing?
Oh,
that
it's like
Friday
an
night?
all-time high. Like
Yeah.
I wake up on Friday and I'm like,
They
oh,
talk
it's
about
game
it
day.
for
Football
weeks.
game.
There's something. It's magical, right?
It's different, yes.
So how are your roles different this year from last year, and what does it mean to you to be named cheer captains?
Last year, I feel like I like was involved and I had all of the things in cheer, but I just didn't like have the mind. Like I wasn't there. Like Presley did everything, and I don't realize that. And so this year, like I'm realizing like all that Presley did, and it's really different, and I'm loving being involved in deciding all the big things like
Yeah?
that we're doing this year.
How about you?
I would say like the leadership and like making sure everybody's involved and like everybody's having fun and nobody's left out and all that.
Okay. What are your most memorable memories, from all these years of cheer?
Obviously, winning top 5 at state, that was like insane. I'll never forget that. And then beating Hershey in overtime was like the best game of all time, literally ever. Like the Super Bowl.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a great night.
I would say definitely the state thing, like getting 4th, that was really nice. And then stunning with Maddie and Caitlin, like us trying new things and having fun with it. Because like we were like a really good stunt group, so we could do really fun stunts. And it was
Okay.
just so much fun.
And you're one that gets thrown around, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. You're the daredevil.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So what do you guys think is special about this year's squad?
Obviously, like Coach K said, the size. We've never had this many girls on a team. 32 girls is a lot to take care of, but it's a lot of fun. Like including everybody and everybody's different personalities, just mixing and all the new stuff. It's like I'm super excited to see how that goes.
I would say all the bonds we have with each other, like we're a very close cheer team. Like all of us talk to each other, so like we're all really close and everything.
I mean, there's a lot of trust there and things like that. I mean, you've got to
Yes.
trust being the one that gets
Oh,
thrown
yeah.
around. You've really got to have a lot of trust, and so that's something that's pretty special. All right, you guys ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yes.
All right. Favorite food?
Tacos.
Pizza.
All right. Beach or the lake?
Lake. I hate
Lake.
sand.
Sharks. No.
Favorite color?
Maybe.
Pink.
All right. Favorite musician?
Brent Fryas or Drake.
All right. You don't have one?
No.
You don't like music?
I do.
All right, let me ask you a different question. Favorite school class? Favorite class at school? You can't pick recess or lunch
Darn it.
or athletics.
College history because we don't do anything in there.
And I hope your teacher is not listening to the rundown tonight. All right, last question. You guys get to star in a movie. Which one do you pick, Barbie 2 or the next Marvel movie?
Barbie 2.
The next Marvel movie.
I wouldn't expect anything else
I
from a
have their
Daredevil.
answers backwards in my head.
Really?
Did you really? All right, ladies, we appreciate you coming in and really so excited for you guys and what you guys bring to the excitement on Friday nights and the support that you give all the teams and just the success that you guys are having in your competitions. I think that's awesome, and really, hope you guys, do well this year.
Thank
Continue that
Thank
tradition.
Thank you.
Stick with us. Next up on Ranger Rundown, we have quarterback Lincoln Madrid and running back Nathaniel Romero. We'll be back in just a minute.
And welcome back to the Ranger Rundown. Now we've got on our left side Lincoln Madrid and Nathaniel Romero. How are you guys this evening?
Pretty good.
Oh, doing great.
All right, guys. First question. We're gonna start firing off here. Lincoln, last year you started quarterback as a sophomore. Got a little bit of experience. How's that going to help you this year?
I think it doesn't just only help me. I think it helps all of us as a team. We were a pretty young team last year, and we gained a bunch of experience from last year's team. And you really don't get experience until you play on Friday night. So, yeah, I think as a team we're a lot more experienced. We had a handful of sophomores and a handful of juniors last year.
All right, well, that kind of leads into the next question. I don't know if you answered or not, but we're going to make you repeat if you did. What do you think is the biggest difference from this year's team compared to last year's team?
Well, like I said, we are a lot more experienced going into this year, and I think another thing is a team bond for sure. The guys in the locker room were a lot closer than we were last year, and the team bond for sure.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of experience going into this year, especially starting off as young as you did. Kind of same thing with Nathaniel here. You kind of got hurt early last year, right?
Yes, sir.
So had to sit out probably more than you would have ever imagined. But
Yes, sir.
but now we're looking at a different offensive line, right? We've got 2 returning starters coming back this year. How are we coming along on the offensive line that's going to be essential for your success?
It's we're coming along pretty good. The guys, they work really hard. They punch the clock every day. It's a real blessing when you have a bunch of guys that care about each other. Care about Lincoln, care about me, and play for one another. I think brotherhood's a big part of it, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. All my success comes to them. So, I'm really excited.
You guys got to take care of your linemen.
Oh yeah, we already want to get shirts for him and everything.
So what are y'all's expectations for the team this season?
I think I have our expectations really high, but it starts off with the little ones. So ours is win the first game, and then of course to win the next game, and then what comes along with that is winning the district championship, right? And then of course the big one is to play in December, and that's state quarterfinals, state semifinals, and state. So
Yeah, nobody really likes playing football when it's this hot, right?
yes,
But
yeah.
December's always the goal there. So
Nathaniel, Josh mentioned you that you missed some time last year, hurt your foot. I know that broke your heart.
Yeah.
I know it's tough for you to sit there
and broke his foot.
yeah, and watch them play. But how hard was it to miss so much time last year, and what impact has that had on you through the off season?
It's obviously really hard, but sitting out, I had a lot of time to reflect on myself and the team, so seeing them grow every week, is really a blessing, taking it from an outside point of view. But the off season, it really made me appreciate, what you have, so we punch the clock every day, and I can't wait to get out there, and show what we got Friday night, so it's going to be good.
All right.
There you go. What adjustments have you made kind of taking over that RB1 position as we prepare for the new year?
Being a good team, being a good offense, it's not really just one running back. You got to have a group of guys. You got to have 2-3 guys that can run the ball steady throughout the game. So, just being a better teammate, having that RB1 position has a, how you gonna call it, it's a big challenge and a big leadership role. But, getting those other guys right, honestly, we got 3 guys right now that could play running back 1, at any time point of the game. So I'm really excited.
Okay. For this question for both of y'all, what are you looking forward to most this season?
Honestly, I'm looking forward just to, prove a point, prove what kind of team we got. A lot of people don't know from the outside point of view. You look at 3-8 and you don't really see too much there. But we know the team we have and we know what we got. So I'm ready to show what we got.
All right. How about you, Lincoln?
It's really what he said. Trying to get back at it and get like a little revenge tour for sure. 3-8 it's not us, and we know we can. Our standards and expectations are really high, and trying to get back at it.
Okay. Lincoln, we're going to start with you on this question. How do you prepare for game time?
I never really had what do you call it?
I'm not sure what y'all are smiling about, but y'all are talking. You're thinking about something mischievous, I feel like.
But me and him are we setting up this year, and y'all can just see on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty good.
Same question for you, Nathaniel. What do you do to get ready?
I like to text my mom and dad before every game, and then when we get out on the do the national anthem, me and him sit by each other, do our handshake. But this year we're switching it up a little bit. We're adding little tweaks here and there. So.
Okay.
All right. What's Friday night? What does it feel like to you guys?
Beginning of something great, honestly. I can't wait. Seeing the work we put in through the off season. It's really gonna pay dividends come Friday night, and we just gotta take it one week at a time. Each week, it's 0-0, so win every game. And
Lincoln, how about you?
He said it all, really. It's like he said, it's the beginning of something great. And just can't wait to get it started for sure.
Are you
No,
cheating?
that was a really good answer.
Yeah,
Don't let
nice.
him cheat on the rapid fire.
Are you cheating looking at my questions already? Man, Coach, you got to keep an eye on this kid over here to my left.
Shifty.
All right, y'all ready for these rapid fire questions? I might change them up now that you've been cheating and looking at them.
Oh boy.
Can't believe you're looking at my script. All right, favorite food?
Are you going me or him?
Both of y'all. We'll go you
sushi.
first and then him because you're the cheater.
I'm going sushi.
Sushi, how about you?
I'm going pizza.
All right. Who is better looking?
We're both pretty handsome devils. So.
Okay, all right. That's an easy answer. Who's the messiest?
The best, me.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Don't want to look at my locker.
All right, and finish this sentence for me. I'm afraid of.
Giant defensive lineman.
Never.
No?
No.
Snakes, spiders.
Spiders.
Yeah.
I'd have to say getting kidnapped.
Getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That just got real serious.
We're going to have to mark that question out. Guys, thanks for coming in. We're super excited. Greenwood's super excited. We can't wait for Friday night to see you guys. And we know it's kind of a revenge tour, and we know that you guys have a lot of plans to flip that 3-8 record. So good luck to you guys on Friday. And like I said, we're ready to get up in the booth and start talking about it. So
Yes, sir.
That's it.
you guys stay with us as Coach Hill is up next to talk about the Gym Ned scrimmage and the first game against Childress.
And thanks for sticking with us here, wrapping up this first live Ranger Rundown from Rooster's backyard of the 24 season. Now we've got Coach Brian Hill. Apparently there's some people that thought I said Ryan Hill last week.
I've been called worse. I'll take Ryan.
Listen.
I've been called a lot worse.
Yeah, we know the guy's name, right? It's not Ryan, it's Brian.
I
You
just
spell it with a Y, but, that's an argument for later.
Yeah, and Coach, I'm sorry. We did not plan the shirt thing here. You obviously look better in it than I do.
Well, next time
I feel like I should sit between you.
we'll put Josh in the middle.
Yeah,
We
then
might need to.
Y'all
But
would
then I
not
wouldn't be able to see you.
Yeah, I know. Y'all wouldn't be able to see each other.
A little Greenwood Oreo right there in the middle.
All right, Coach, let's jump into it.
Let's
Enough
do it.
funny business. How about a quick recap of Jim Ned? What are our takeaways? What did we learn?
We started off really, really fast. We scored with our first offense, scored twice in the first 15 plays, and saw some great effort from a lot of different guys. And then give Jim Ned credit. That's a big, strong, physical team, and they kept chipping away, and they had some success against us later in the scrimmage. I think the biggest takeaway, and we were able to see it on film, is when all 11 are doing their job and executing at a high level, we're pretty tough offensively and defensively. But when we get a little tired and take a play off, and maybe we have 8 or 9 guys doing the right thing and 2 or 3 that weren't executing at the level that we expect, that some bad things happen sometimes. And so I think we were very fortunate to learn that lesson in mid-August as opposed to October and November when it really, really matters. And so it was great teaching opportunities. We got a lot of really good film on tape, and we're able to come back Friday and kind of show put a visual on our expectations, and we'll improve on that this week and be ready to go against Childress.
Yeah, you talked about that it was a good opportunity for you guys to see a real physical front seven and get a gauge of where you kind of were and what you needed the steps you need to take, and it's visible to the guys, and you're able to communicate that with them before you ever step on the field for your first game. So
yeah,
I think that's a benefit there. Coach, whose performance stood out to you last week at that Jim Ned scrimmage?
Defensively, Kason Brooks did a fantastic job. He tackled well in space. He was able to align our secondary, use the technique that Coach Martin had been working for the last year, and intercepted a pass in the flat and just did a fantastic job. And then offensively, Cade Rowalt, was able to catch some screen passes from Lincoln, got some good blocks. I think you'll see one here in a little bit from Caden Evans on the perimeter. We did a really good job blocking at the wide receiver position and was able to break a long touchdown run for us. And so we saw a lot of there were a lot of bright spots in the scrimmage. And I think the biggest thing that I was proud of was we didn't shy away from physicality. We may not have executed perfectly at every position, every single snap, but a lot of times you can't teach that physicality. You're either, hunting it or you're running away from it, and we matched it, every single snap. And so that was really, really good to see on both sides of the ball.
Okay. We want to run some highlights here and have Coach Hill kind of talk to them real quick.
All right, here we go. I got to give Coach Thomas credit. These graphics get better and better every single week.
He's stepping up
sharp.
his game.
Yeah. But this is one of those, just a little hitch pass. We got off coverage, and we're able to connect on that. Lincoln had a great throw, and Cade, just like picking up where he left off last year, does a great job catching the ball. But I think what makes him special is what he does after he catches the ball, those yards after contact. And Coach Galindo and Coach Richardson, the receivers coaches, have done a great job talking about catching the ball, getting north and south right away, getting those extra yards, and making some folks miss tackles. And Nathan Tarango there, he's done a great job at corner for us the last year, and he's taken a lot more snaps at wide receiver. You see there's Cade breaking the long run with Caden Evans' block, but Nathan Tarango's just done a fantastic job. He's got really solid hands. The joke is if you can't catch, you play defense, but Nathan does a great job at defensive back, and then is able to reel him in at receiver as well.
Well, there's a couple of things I saw in that, Josh, and I think you saw it too as an old offensive lineman. There's a pocket.
Yeah.
And it was a nice pocket for Lincoln to step
Lincoln
in.
appreciates
and
that.
then I saw the defensive line collapse some pockets.
Well, there we go.
And they had the outside contain, and they collapsed it from the inside. I liked it.
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
Yes, sir.
Coach, moving on to maybe the school schedule, right? Things changed for us in Greenwood. We're going to a 4-day schedule. So selfishly on the football end of it, it's like, hey, we get extra time to prepare for Friday night. On the other side of that coin is, man, how are we going to manage Friday morning, Friday afternoon. So what can you tell us on the schedule's tweak on Fridays and maybe some of your expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think the day-to-day has really changed all that much. Monday's kind of our normal downs, both sides of the ball. That's, first and second down plays, which you're going to see the most of in a given game. Tuesday is going to be more what we call the money downs, the third down and the red zone snaps that you may not see as much, but they're worth more in a game. And then Wednesday we kind of tie it all up and make sure we we throw out the plays that don't look good, and we practice the plays that we like in a given week. And as we get into Thursday, we make sure our substitution packages are cleaned up. And then, Friday, there's a few Fridays we have school, a few Fridays we don't. And so I think we're going to use the times that we don't to, watch film, kind of clean it up and make sure that we get any last-minute questions tied up. And then I think it's, incredibly valuable for, the academic side of things is on Fridays. Kids aren't missing school,
right.
to travel, and
Sure.
There's not a lot of substitutes in the classroom because the teachers are off as well. So I think it's academically it's a big plus for the Greenwood School District for
Yeah.
sure.
Coach, so we're not going to hold this to you, and no one's going to come back and yell at you if you're wrong. But what do you think the fans should expect to see from Childress Friday night?
Yeah, offensively they are. Childress is a physical team. It's kind of their culture and their identity the last 10 or 15 years or more, honestly. A lot of two tight end sets and just pounding the football. They've got a really good running back. Last name is Sims. He's got some shiftiness to him. He's pretty good. We're going to have to make sure we get that guy bottled up. He's pretty good. And then defensively, a lot of 4-down fronts. They mix up the coverages between quarters and single high looks, but their front seven, a lot like Jim Ned, is extremely physical. They're fast off the ball. And, I think Jim Ned was as good a test as far as what we're going to see Friday night. It was a good tune-up for Childress, so we're excited about it.
All right.
Coach, what do you want to see from your team Friday night?
Kind of our word, I think, for the whole spring has been compete. Just compete. Like, winning needs to feel really, really good, and losing needs to sting. It needs to hurt. And so I think our goal for our players is every single play has a life of its own. And if you win every single play or a majority of those plays, then the score will take care of itself. And so I'm really, really excited about the kind of the culture of our team this year. The leaders, you just talked to two of them, Nathaniel and Lincoln. Ty Box is another one. Dakota Underhill, Landon Butts. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And they've really taken the honus of that culture. And this is how we do things. We don't do certain things, and these are the expectations. And so I give those guys a ton of credit. And I think any and all success we have this year is going to be because of the leadership we have on this football team. It's pretty special.
Cool. All right. Coach, do you plan to utilize the new technology rules that the UIL put in place this year? And if so, how do you think it will impact the game, and how will you use it?
Yeah, that's a huge change. For the first time, and it's been allowed in the NFL, but not in college or high school games. We're allowed to get instant replay on. It's not allowed on the sideline, but in the press box or in the locker room at halftime. And so Coach Thomas has worked hard and looked at several different options. We settled on one, and so our coaches in the press box were able to get, within 2 or 3 seconds to review the play, good or bad, what happened, why it happened, and what we can do to fix it. And then, we'll obviously be able to show it to our kids at halftime. But it's a game changer for sure.
Glad to see that we're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, it's
I didn't expect us not to, but I thought it was a fair question.
Yeah, it's gonna make halftime a lot more interesting for sure, a lot busier, because some things, really good coaches are able to pick it up in games, but some things you don't see till Saturday morning previously, and now you're going to be able to get that real time feedback, and playing defensive football is going to get a lot tougher, just because the offenses are going to have the benefit of seeing the shades and the techniques the defensive line's playing and the coverages in real time, and it's going to be a challenge for sure.
You kind of need 2 game plans as a defense.
Yeah, or 30 game plans. It's going to be
Well, it's a good thing you're a defensive-minded coach.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, just trying to manage all the information. You mentioned halftime is going to be very different, which information do you act on, trying to sort through, how you improve, I guess, is going to be an interesting thing. So,
absolutely.
no, that's a cool rule. We'll see how that goes this year for everyone. Coach, we kind of talked to Lincoln and Nathaniel a little bit earlier. Talked about the three offensive linemen that are new defensive line. How well have those two units meshed with each other?
Ryan Cox was our tight ends coach last year, and he's transitioned to the offensive line with the departure of Coach Gill, and he's just done a phenomenal job. He's a player's coach. The guys gravitate to him. They love him. They play hard for him, and he's done a really good job of holding those guys to high standards, but at the same time being a guy that they're not scared to approach, ask questions, and grow in that manner. And so I give Coach Cox a lot of credit. And then defensively, Josiah Whittington is as phenomenal a young coach as I've ever seen. He's done a great job. He's a technician. I was looking at some stuff earlier today, and it's Monday at noon, and he's already watched 14 hours of film, so you can do the math on that. Starting Saturday morning, he lives in that computer. He's done a great job, and so I really feel great about the trajectory of those 5 interior guys, the 2 guards and center on offense, and the 2 defensive tackles. They're playing hard, playing at a high level, and I give Coach Cox and Coach Whittington a lot of that credit.
Coach, this last week I had some meetings with people that work for me, and I was talking to them about expectations and what I expected from them and things like that, and it got me thinking about that's a lot of the things that coaches have to do is set expectations and try to coach to them. And so one of the questions I have is, how do you reinforce and coach your expectations to the players?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think teaching expectations is any different than teaching a technique or a football play or a social studies lesson. Kind of the philosophy that we take is, I do, we do, you do, and so as a coaching staff, we'll model that behavior, what we need, it being something simple as putting your helmet on the ride and the shoulder pads on top of your locker, or something a little bit more complex like, a third down blitz package. We'll walk through it together, or we'll walk through it and draw it up as a staff. We'll walk through it together on barrels. And then we let them do it, and that's no different. The culture piece is no different than anything else we teach. And then I think, all spring we met with our leadership council and reinforced it. How do you hold people accountable? What does that look like? And again, I can't give our leaders enough credit. Even younger guys, Reese Watzel is one, does a phenomenal job of modeling good behavior and then holding people accountable. I give the kids a lot of credit. Coach-driven teams only go so far, but player-driven teams, really the sky's the limit. And I think that is something that I'm most excited about this year is our players have taken over, and they're doing a great job for us.
Good.
Coach, we kind of talked about the information now coming into the booth, right, with the new technology. And I think we talked about this last year when Gil was coming in. I believe the question was, is Gil going to be in the booth? I prefer sitting in the booth, you kind of get a bird's eye view, kind of what the video tells you. But how do you guys decide kind of who goes to the booth, who's on the field?
Yeah, ultimately the 2 coordinators make those decisions for each side of the ball. So Coach Martin will make the decisions for the defensive side, and Coach Hernandez will make the decisions for the offensive side. But I think knowing your coaches is critical in that. You need the people in the press box, you need some seasoned veterans up there that can diagnose things on the fly and kind of able to see all 11 and not just one position. And so we have a lot of that on our staff. And then I do think, and I may get in trouble for saying this, but, offensively it's a little bit more cerebral sometimes. And so being removed from that emotion is a good thing, being in the box. And then defensively is at least in my experience, it's a highly emotional side of the ball. And so being down there on the field and being able to coach guys eye to eye in the moment is pretty important. And I think that's probably one reason why Coach Hernandez is our offensive coordinator's in the box, and Coach Martin is down on the sideline for us. But
okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I agree. I kind of think of a little bit quieter, not so much so many inputs coming in at you with being on the sidelines. So
it's definitely better
Makes
to have
sense.
us in the box than on the field. That's for sure.
We'll have to have you call one from the sideline one time.
It's like we said when you got here. Just go on to every once in a while and maybe run a screen pass. And that's all we have to
Help
offer.
the offensive line.
That's all we have to offer as
We'll
far
have a
as
suggestion box up here next week.
You
I'm
don't
sure
wanna
they'll be
do that.
full.
Screen plays.
We, Coach, as we wrap up here, last question, serious question for you. What are your 3 keys to the game on Friday?
Well, with all the technology and all that kind of stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about taking care of the ball on offense, limiting your turnovers and holding on to the football, and then defensively creating turnovers. We've done a really good job of that in the first 2 scrimmages. We created 4, I guess, against Big Spring and 3 against Jim Ned, and so we've kind of set the tone that way. And then I think last year, if you go back and look at it, Snyder, for example, we won the kicking game. And Sweetwater, for example, we lost the kicking game. And the game, ultimately, the win and the loss was hung in the balance in the special teams unit. And so Coach Larry Galindo has taken a big role in special teams this year. And so I think if we can protect the football offensively, create turnovers and chaos defensively, and win the kicking game, I think those are going to be the keys throughout the season.
Yeah.
Todd, I don't know if you've been paying attention. I don't know if you guys here have been paying attention, but it seems like 1 year later, Coach's vocabulary has just expanded, right? I almost made the joke of we were going to have to look up one of the words, and then he goes with cerebral, and so I'm impressed by that, Coach.
Well, AI.
I'm on board this year just because of
Give me some
the
big
first
words.
interview.
He's been spending time with the Mrs., so the vocabulary has expanded a little
Teaching
bit.
the kids how to spell.
She's been teaching
gosh.
Park words, and he's been picking up on the words that Park's learning. Coach, how about that Meet the Rangers last night? How about that turnout? I mean, that was pretty spectacular.
You absolutely
seeing that support.
You can't say enough about the Greenwood community. It was unbelievable just to see the number of people there to support our 7 through 12, our young people. It was absolutely incredible. And the Football Booster Club, Kelly Brooks, Jimmy Payton, Amy Ivy, Casey Rowalt, all their spouses, the guys cooking hamburgers for like 6 or 7 hours in the back. I mean, it was just an unbelievable showing of community support. And our coaching staff, me personally, we are eternally grateful for that.
And then you had Char, the voice of the Rangers.
The voice of
the Rangers.
I wondered if you two were going to arm wrestle him for the voice of the Rangers.
We were smiling
title.
about it. It's like, it's okay.
He's the voice of the Rangers.
He thinks he shows offensive linemen love because he doesn't listen to us because he's doing whatever he does
We're
during
going to
the
sell
game.
tickets to the cage match between you three and the winner.
Char, just in case you're
is the
listening, we
voice,
love you, man.
The golden voice.
Pick the day.
Okay, guys, that's going to be the end of our first live rundown here at Roosters Backyard. We want to thank Roosters and Coach Thomas for all the stuff that they did to get this night going and allowing Josh and I to bring you some content from our coaches. Make sure you subscribe to GSN on YouTube so that you don't miss any content and that you catch all of our live game streams this season.
That's right. We'll be Childress. Oh, yeah, it's at the top there.
Right there.
Look at this guy.
Last
we'll
year
be
was at the bottom. Now
We'll be live. Game starts at 7 o'clock in Childress. It's going to be a great drive. Very excited. We'll probably be on air at 6:45, 6:50, something like that.
6:10. It's not going to get here quick enough.
We can't talk that much. So
it's not going to get
we'll
here
be
soon
excited.
enough.
But yeah. So again, thank you to Roosters Backyard for letting us host this event, and we're excited about this year. So
thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on GSN.